So in this video, we're going to go through the ability to actually use the Pandora Platinum, not just to play all of your archived classic arcade titles, but even some SNES stuff. Right, so the first thing is you want to make sure you have is your archive card that you can get. And once you put it in here, we've shown you in blast how to put in the archive card. Make sure it is seated. And then once you do that, you should see the titles available to you pop up. Now, before you do this, what you're going to want to do is get the supported USB SNES or Super Nintendo look-alike controller. Okay, and as you know, it is a look-alike controller because there's no other USB SNES controller made. So you can check the site for that. Now here you'll see that you will want to put it in this USB controller icon right here. And once you do that, we mentioned in the past that you'll be able to see right there in the right hand corner side, you'll see that the controller icon pulls up, so you know that the USB is in place. And now what you want to do is hit this button, the CFG button, and that will bring up your menu. Now if you haven't used another third-party joystick that we sell that's compatible with this unit, you'll see that once we put this in, we're going to go to input settings on the menu. See that it says input settings? So right at the top right there, input settings. And you're going to want to select everything with the actual joystick first, okay? So you hit input settings, you hit A, right? It's the first button up here, A. And then what you want to do is you want to go to the thing that says USB game port from, okay? That means that when you put this game controller in, what is it going to control exactly, okay? And what are we mapping? Because you could use any controller for any game, but when you're doing the SNES titles, you want to be able to play it as the first player, right? So that's important. So you want to make sure you can change it, player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, okay? So this is going to be set to player 1. And USB gamepad mapping, hit A to go into it. And here you have, it says press any USB button to detect. So right here, I'm going to press that. You see it? It says USB gamepad. And hit A, okay. And you'll see that this is the good layout. Now I've already put this in here, so it kind of memorized it. So it says, so this is for your NES. And this is arcade setup as well. This will respond, but this also will work for the SNES titles. So this number, if you don't like the way these buttons are laid out when you're playing the game, you could map them differently by hitting the tab, like each button. Now I'm just gonna go through it and hit down, as you can see here. So for instance, we'll go back real quick. So I make this the start button, right here. And I make that the coin or select button right there. And again, just for demonstration purposes, this is going to be for your SNES, to map your SNES if you want to change it, okay? And now we're going to go to save and exit, and hit back, go back and save and exit again. And now you'll see your 2D titles. So the cool thing is, hit A, and voila, and you'll see. And yes, you can save states, so you can save where you left off. See, I am controlling left, right as the first player. And I actually I set it to this to be the run. See that? This is the jump. And if you don't like it, if you want to change this to run or jump, you can do that again in the settings that I showed you. I'm really bad at this game. And here we go. And this controls really well. I mean, ooh. And I think a nice thing about it is that sometimes, even though you could play with the arcade stick, these games, it doesn't feel as genuine, right? Because you just remember playing them on these pads. And if you want, again, this starts, save and continue. But the thing about save and continue, it may save it in this game because it's one of those games that have like a backup. But I suggest is just going here and hitting save state. When you those two buttons, the start and the coin. Well, basically it's like the pause and the coin here and the start, and hit. Now you go to hit D. I'm sorry. Whoops. I'll show you guys. Save state. Okay. So next time you can go to load state and hit A, and it just loaded. Do you see that? So I saved it. Literally, you won't even notice it, but you just hit the A button. So again, these two, hit save state. All right, and next thing you want to load, hit A, loading state. So now if we leave the game, show you, and we want to play it from the last game, and you don't need to do this, right? You can hit load state, and there it is. How cool is that? Really easy, folks. All right, check more videos out. Don't forget, visit PandoraPlatinum.com for your all-in-one 40-plus-year-old game console.